welcome into the Sandlot Baseball League 2025. It is week 5 and game number 3, so the last game of this first third of the season. After this game, the next video will be a recap of the first third of the season, as long as some stats for each team. We'll kind of do a MVP, an LVP, maybe a shocking players so far through 5 games. That's still a small sample size. Third of the season's a long way to go, so we won't spend a ton of time, but it's interesting to see where teams are at. Are their concepts working? Who's been surprising? Who's been an MVP so far? Etc. So this game 3 will feature the 1-3 Shiny Squad taking on the 2-2 Broad Street Bats. Let's go ahead and look at the starters today. First up for the Shiny Squad, I believe they're facing, it's either their 4th or 5th left-handed pitcher of the season. I think they faced 4 out of 5, but leading off in center field, Rajay Davis. At second and batting second, Jerry Coleman. At shortstop, batting third, Ozzie Smith. The catcher and Gold Glover batting 4th, Benito Santiago. Batting 5th, the DH, Bobby Bonilla. At first base, batting 6th, Paul Konerko. In left field, batting 7th, Willie Wilson. At third base, batting 8th, Willie Bloomquist. And in right field, batting 9th, Dave Martinez. And for the Broad Street Bats, they will have center fielder Ricky Henderson leading off. Also batting second and playing second is Chase Utley. Batting third at shortstop, Jimmy Rollins. The third baseman and cleanup hitter, Ron Santo. Batting 5th in center field, Carlos Beltran. At first base, Brian Banks. In right field, the Gold Glover batting 7th, Sal Frelick. Your DH, Nick Lofton. And batting 9th behind the plate is Patrick Bailey. The pitching matchup today for the Shiny Squad, they will have Jose Suarez, one of their few actual non-prize cards that are actually on the team. To make the salary work, there's not a lot of relief pitchers and starters that are all prize cards. So he only has 3 command, 5 innings, +1 defense, 1 to 3 X range, and 17 outs. So if he can roll high, he'll be fine. But as we saw in the last game, Louis Varland got shelled with that 3 command. On the other side, not much better. But Denny Neagle will have 3 defense, 4 command against righties and switch hitters, but against lefties, which he will face 2 of, he will have a 7 command. Only 15 outs and a 20 will be a double, so not the best that you could have on the mound, but could be worse. Let's head on over to the field and get ready to play ball. As we look at the defenses for both teams, first up in the field will be the Broad Street Bats, so we'll look at their defense first. Their battery is going to be 14 while while Neagle is on the mound. And for the infield and outfield, they'll both be 12. For the Shiny Squad, they also have an infield and outfield of 12, so that'll make it easy to remember everything. And their battery will be an 11 while Suarez is on the mound. The Broad Street Bats, their last game was a blowout against the, at the time, undefeated Bash Bros. It was 18-3, so they were able to use a lot of their punt pitchers to kind of make it through that game. Sorry, just going to adjust the field here a little. For my OCD. So their only pitcher that is fatigued is Carmen Mladinsky, but everyone else is fine other than the punt pitchers. Shiny Squad, however, are a little bit worse for wear. They have one guy completely tired and Smiley. Sutter can go his full 2 innings. Habrowski can go his full 2 innings if he needs to, and Musica can go an inning if needed. Just making sure. Yeah, see, we need to fix that super quick. See if that changes. Okay, so the infield for the broadsheet bats is actually a 13. I'm just going to go fix that in their team builder sheet, because it's going to be a bother to do that constantly. So let's switch around Brian Winks and Nick Lofton. Okay, it still doesn't want to work for some reason. What is happening? Okay, there we go. Here we go 9, here we go 6. Versus L, we want to switch this as well. So 6, 8. Often, if I don't do this now, I'm just going to forget. That's the only reason I'm doing it now. So their infield will always be a 13. So that way that's changed. Cool beans. Alright, we are getting ready for the game to start. Looks like everything is up and loaded. It looks like we are good to go. And looks like we are ready to play ball. So Denny Neagle will be on the mound first. Again, both of these teams, even with their aces up this next time, would be very helpful if they could at least get through their 5 innings, if not get a quality appearance, but we know how much of a struggle that can be. So without further ado, the teams are ready. Neagle is set. It is time to play ball. 4 versus 12. Here comes the pitch. A perfect pitch from Neagle. And 4 from Davis. That's going to be a ground ball over to the left side. The third baseman, Bloomquist, or he's not on that team. The third baseman, Santo, has it. Throws it over to first. Out number 1. Hopefully one of the cool things we can do moving forward then is also have season statistics for these guys as they go. Keep some updated numbers. Didn't want to do that yet because of the small sample size. 4 versus 14. The second baseman, Coleman, is ready. Neagle delivers an advantage. And Coleman swings and misses. That'll be out number 2. Neagle cruising through 2 batters so far. 4 versus 12 as Ozzie Smith is up to bat. Another advantage for Neagle, and a 19 will put Ozzie Smith on board with a 2-out pitcher sharp single. The battery is 14, so he's not going to try stealing. This will be 4 versus 12 as Neagle faces the catcher Santiago. And a mistake pitch, and it's probably a good thing he didn't try to steal. Lovely powered eye friend. And a 6 is a pop-up to the catcher, and Santiago's batter chart woes continue as Neagle is able to get out of that inning with no damage done. It's a shame because the last game we rolled so well with the power die. I felt like every single thing was a home run or a double. Go to the bottom of the first. It's 0-0. Suarez will have a 3 command against all batters he faces. This will be 3 versus 13. He delivers and gets the advantage against Henderson. And Henderson will lift this ball to deep left field. Going back on it is Willie Wilson, but he makes the grab for out number 1. Brings up Chase Utley, 3 versus 12, second baseman. Advantage Utley, and Utley will watch as ball 4 crosses the plate, and he is aboard with a leadoff, or a 1-out walk against Suarez. 3 versus 13 as the shortstop Jimmy Rollins comes up to the plate. Suarez is set, he delivers, and an 18 total, good for the advantage, and a 20 from Rollins will be a pitcher's chart single. And so with 1 out, we have guys on first and second. The outfield will move in. This will be a 3 versus 12. Santo has been a monster at the plate so far this season. Suarez is ready. Checks the runner at second. His pitch will be a mistake. Uh-oh. Santo's swing. Oh, my word. It was on a 22 for a hot second. That is a ground ball. So Utley will move to third. Rollins is out at second. And the double play ball will be a 12 versus 21. And that is a 6-1. 18 is not enough. So Santo, thankfully for the Broad Street bats, it'll be a fielder's choice. Wow. So back-to-back batter chart outs on their own chart. Or with the mistake pitch. Tough. Defense will be regular because there's 2 outs. So runners on the corners for Carlos Beltran. 3 versus 12. Defense is normal. Big pitch from Suarez here, and that's going to be in the middle, so we'll roll that again. All right, 21 total. The swing from Beltran is a perfect 20. So 2 batters chart hits, or pitcher's chart hits in the inning allow the Broad Street bats to take an early 1-0 lead as Beltran gets a RBI single with 2 outs. Outfield will move in now. It's 1-0 Broad Street bats, 3 versus 11. The pitch from Suarez, he again gets the advantage, and Banks will swing and strike out. Big strikeout there from Suarez as he limits the damage to anything further. But the Broad Street bats do get 1 on the board. We head to the top of the second. Broad Street bats 1, Shiny Squad 0. Neagle comes out for the second inning. He'll be facing the 5, 6, 7 hole hitters of Bonilla, Konerko, and Wilson. 4 versus 11. Neagle is ready. He delivers 14. And Bonilla's swing is a line drive caught by the first baseman for out number 1. That'll bring up the first baseman, Paul Konerko, who's had some huge swings this season. He had a couple of really nice home runs. That one of them was almost a game winner until their pitching staff blew that game. 4 versus 11. Oh, there's only 1 lefty that Neagle will face. Interesting. 4 versus 11, so a 13 will just be enough, and a 6 is a ground ball over to the left side where Santo fires it over to Banks for out number 2, which brings up Willie Wilson. 4 versus 11, the left fielder will get the advantage, and Wilson will hit a single into right field, and he'll be aboard with 2 outs. And they're going to let Bloomquist swing with 2 outs. I don't think they want to steal on a 14 battery. 4 versus 11. And a mistake pitch. Bad news for Neagle. And a I forgot Bloomquist needs a 23 just to get a double, so a 20 is good enough for a single, though. Oh boy. So with 2 outs, the outfield will move in. This will be a 7 versus 9, though, for Martinez, who has come up in some big spots. Advantage Neagle. Martinez swings and misses. And that'll end the inning as Neagle again works out of a jam. Go to the bottom of the second. 1-0 Broad Street Bats. Seems like a theme for a lot of these games is one team always gets a lot of traffic on the bases but can't do much with it. But with these SP5s going, starting pitching, these 5 guys should be a lot of offense here shortly. 3 versus 11 as Suarez is set to face these 7, 8, and 9 hole hitters. 3 versus 11 and 13 for Suarez, and Frelick hits a deep fly ball to right field. Going back on it is Martinez, but he will make the routine grab for out number 1. That'll bring up Nick Lofton, the DH, 3 versus 11. That'll be advantage Lofton. Does have a lot of outs on his chart, and he shows you there. He will strike out on his own chart for out number 2. So 2 out of 3 advantages for the Broad Street Bats have been outs on their own chart. And Bailey, typically better against right-handers, but with the Gold Glove behind the plate, 11 defense, 3 versus 9 isn't terrible. But Suarez maintains his control, and Bailey's swing is a ground ball over to the shortstop, Ozzie Smith, who fires it over to first for out number 3. And Suarez gets the Broad Street Bats to go down 1-2-3, so great bounce back inning for him. We go to the top of the third, 1-0 Broad Street Bats. Second time through the lineup now for the Shiny squad. It'll be 4 versus 12 for Rajay Davis. Denny's pitch is in there for a mistake. Let's see if Davis can make him pay. And a 16 will be a single. So he'll get the leadoff single there. Bringing up Jerry Coleman. And this will be a 4 versus 14. That's a 19 total. Coleman's swing is a 9. That is a line drive caught by the third baseman for out number 1. Now you have to wonder, when are they going to try to steal or bunt? 14 battery is just tough because they have a couple guys who can steal. Wilson, Smith, and Davis. They'll let Smith go. 4 versus 12. Another great pitch from Neagle to get the advantage. And Smith is going to get Davis thrown out at second. It's going to be a 13 versus 22 on the double play attempt. And that will be a double play for out number 3. And a leadoff mistake pitch single is squandered by the Shiny squad as Neagle gets the dirty 1-2-3. Bottom of the third, we're also back to the top of the order for the Broad Street Bats. This will be 3 versus 13 as Ricky Henderson is up to the plate. Advantage Suarez. And Henderson lifts this ball out to left field. That ball is going, but Willie Wilson makes the grab for out number 1. Brings up the second baseman Chase Utley, 3 versus 12. The pitch from Suarez, 22 total. Utley's swing is a 6, which is a ground ball to the second baseman Coleman, who just underhands it over to first base for out number 2. 3 versus 13. Rollins had a single his last time up. Advantage Suarez, and Rollins will also just hit a ground ball over to the left side of the infield, and that'll be a 1-2-3 inning for Suarez. So we go to the top of the fourth, 1-0. This is kind of how the last game went with the SP5 pitchers, where they both kind of worked out of some jams early, gave up a run or two here and there, and then it was like the floodgates opened up. Both pitchers so far, Suarez has gone 3 innings, allowed 2 hits, 1 run, and 2 strikeouts. And Neagle has gone 3 innings, allowed 4 hits, all singles. 3 mistake pitches, though. He's just gotten fortunate they haven't done more damage on those. 2 singles and an out. And he also has 2 strikeouts. 4 versus 12. As he faces Santiago. We're going to re-roll that since it looked a little sketchy. And it will be advantage Santiago, and his swing will be a single. So leadoff single from Santiago. Puts him on first. And we get the DH and slugger, Bobby Bonilla, up next. 4 versus 11. And a 17 from Neagle, but Bonilla is going to get a pitcher's chart single. So back-to-back singles allowed by Neagle, and he's going to be in another jam as Konerko comes up to the plate. Outfield will move in. 4 versus 11. He is very slow. That is a tie to Konerko. And Konerko's swing is a single. And that'll load the bases, and they're going to keep Santiago there because it would be a 12 versus 18. So they would need a 7 or higher. Infield moves in, outfield moves in. So Neagle's really going to have to bear down and keep it on his chart if possible. 4 versus 11. He does get the advantage, and Wilson swings and misses for out number 1. He strikes out. Huge first out. So 12, that'd be 12, 50-50 shot. They're going to keep the outfield and infield in. The 50-50 shot's just a little sketchy. 4 versus 11. Big spot here for Bloomquist. Advantage Neagle. And Bloomquist hits a fly ball out to left field. Are they going to tag? They're just going to keep, because a tag would still be 12 versus 18. This would be 7 versus 9. This would be a huge squandered opportunity for the Shining Squad with bases loaded and nobody out. 7 versus 9. Martinez is looking for a good pitch. It will be advantage Neagle. And Martinez comes in clutch with the pitcher's chart single. So he will move the runners around. So Benito scores. This will be a 12 versus 21. Going home. And they're going to let it stand as is. So it's a tie ball game with Rajay Davis up next. Get them to the top of the order. He is 1 for 2. 4 versus 12. Neagle's pitch will be a tie to Davis. All the infield would be normal. Outfield moves in, and an 8 is a single for Davis. So that'll bring in at least 1 run in Bonilla, and Konerko is going to have to hold because his base running is so slow. But they do take a 2-1 lead. I'm going to bring up Jerry Coleman, who's 0 for 2. Outfield stays in, infield is normal. 4 versus 14. Neagle's pitch will be his advantage. And Coleman hits a line drive to end the inning. So, Neagle could have had it way worse than that, but he does give up 2 runs in the inning. And the Shiny squad take a 1-0 lead over the Broad Street Bats. He does maintain the quality appearance as of now. Suarez comes out. It's the bottom of the fourth. 2-1 Shiny squad. 3 versus 12 as Santos up to the plate. Advantage Suarez, and Santos swings and misses. One away. Center fielder Carlos Beltran is up next. 3 versus 12. Another advantage goes to Suarez. And Beltran will hit a ground ball over to the shortstop, Ozzie Smith, who throws it over to first, round number 2. First baseman Brian Banks is up. 3 versus 11. And another advantage for Suarez. And another ground ball. As Smith again throw it over to first for out number 3, and Suarez gets the Broad Street Bats to go 1-2-3 for back-to-back innings. Go to the top of the 5th inning. 2-1 Shiny squad. Neagle, if he gets the quality appearance this inning, will get to come back out for the 6th. He will face the 3-4-5 hitters. Ozzie is 1 for 2. 4 versus 12. And Neagle will get a 13, so he just squeaks by, but a 19 from Ozzie puts the leadoff man aboard. Second pitcher's chart hit for Ozzie Smith. 4 versus 12. He faces Santiago. He'll just squeak by again, and Santiago swings and misses for out number 1. That is Neagle's 4th strikeout, despite only having a 1-2 strikeout range. 4 versus 11, but he is 1 for 2 today. Advantage Neagle yet again, and an 8 will be a line drive smoked at the first baseman, who hangs on for out number 2. That'll bring up Paul Konerko, who is 1 for 2 today. 4 versus 11, advantage Neagle, and Konerko swings and misses for out number 3, so Neagle will get that quality appearance and will get to come out for another inning. Both of these pitchers are doing work so far in this game. I mean, I know it's 2-1, but Suarez, for having 3 command, has only given up 3 advantages, and 2 of them were outs. It's crazy. He's only given up 2 hits. Neagle's given up 10 and 6 advantages. That's pretty normal for a pitcher like that in this type of game. Suarez also looking for the quality appearance here. 3 versus 11. And a tie goes to Frelick. And 7 for Frelick is a pop-up to the first baseman for out number 1. So 3 out of the 4 advantages Suarez has given up have been outs on their own chart. 3 versus 11. And Lofton lifts this one out to left field. But Willie Wilson is there for the routine catch. 2 away. 3 versus 9 for the catcher Patrick Bailey. Another advantage for Suarez and another ground ball out. So that is 4 innings in a row. Suarez has gotten the Broad Street Bats to go down 1, 2, 3. Game is flying, and there's hardly any hits from one side and hardly any advantages. Top of the 6th, 2-1. Neagle comes out for his last inning, 4 versus 11, as he faces off against Wilson. Advantage Neagle, and a 16 is a single, so Wilson will get pushed over to first. Bloomquist is going to try to sacrifice bunt. so he needs a 13 or higher in the first 2 attempts. 4 will not cut it. 16 will. So Bloomquist sacrifice bunts Wilson over to second, but 1 away. Outfield will move in as Wilson has a 22 speed. 7 versus 9 as Martinez is 1 for 2 today. Had that crucial 2-out pitcher start single at the last inning, or in the 4th inning, to keep that rally going. Advantage Neagle and Martinez. 10 is a line drive smoked at the first baseman Banks. Out number 2, which brings up Rajai Davis, the leadoff man. He is 2 for 3 today. It'll be a 4 versus 12. Outfield stays in. The pitch from Neagle will be a 19 total, and Davis, a 17, will be a single. So another pitcher start hit. And they're going to send him even though the outfield was in. It'll be a 12 versus 25 on the throw. And 12 plus 17 is a 29. So Wilson will be gunned down at the plate. Great throw to keep this a 1-run game. As that'll end Neagle's day, most likely. Even though he's pitched perfectly fine. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. It is still 2-1 Shiny Squad. And the leadoff hitters for the Broad Street Bats will be up. It's crazy. They scored 18 runs in their last game. And in this game, they've scored 1 so far. Let's just see if they can get a hit. They haven't had a hit since the 1st inning. 3 versus 13. Henderson is 0 for 2. A 14, so he'll just squeak by. And a 10 will be another ground ball to the left side of the field. Henderson will be thrown out at first, which brings up Chase Utley. Utley is 0 for 1. A walk and a run scored. 3 versus 12, and Suarez is just pitching out of his mind. As a 13 will be a line drive for out number 2. 3 versus 13, a 50-50 shot here to get an advantage. And that's the second time this inning where it's by 1, but Rollins will get the 2-out pitcher start single. Their first hit since the 1st inning, which brings up the dangerous Ron Santo. He's 0 for 2 today. He had a mistake pitch back in the 1st inning, which was a fielder's choice. Can he get some revenge on that? 3 versus 12, and he will get a mistake pitch again. What can Santo do with this? And an 8 will just be a walk. I mean, you'll take it more than the out, but just for funsies. Yeah, that's better. Outfield will move in. 3 versus 12. Rollins does have a 25 speed, so any type of contact here could tie this game. Unless there's a really good throw. 3 versus 12. 2 outs. Suarez looks at the runner at second. He fires. He does get the advantage, and Beltran will trickle one over to the shortstop. Throws it over to first, and the Broad Street Bats again squander base runners. And Suarez will most likely be done for the day after 6 innings and only allowing 3 hits. What a performance by him. And we need to go to the bullpen for the Broad Street Bats. They could basically pitch anybody. Probably want to pitch a lefty or someone who's good against righties. You're going to need to pitch at least 3 innings. So they're going to throw out there Antonio Bastardo. Bastardo's a big lefty, 6 command against everybody. 18 outs and 19 and 20 is a walk, so you can't naturally single on Bastardo's chart, which is really good. obviously. And he will face the 2, 3, and 4 hole hitters. So while he does face a lefty plus and Coleman, the next couple guys are more righty plus or nothing. 6 versus 12, or 6 versus 14. Coleman is 0 for 3 today. The pitch from Bastardo will be a 20 total. And Coleman swings and misses. That'll be out number 1. He's 0 for 4 on the day. Brings up the shortstop Ozzie Smith. He is 2 for 3. Both hits coming on the pitcher's chart. 6 versus 12. And Bastardo will have a 22 total. And an 18 is a deep fly ball that Sal Frelick will be under and make the grab 2 away. 6 versus 12 as Santiago is 1 for 3 today with a run scored. Advantage Bastardo, and Santiago also will hit a deep fly ball, but that'll be another routine grab, so Bastardo does his job and sets down the meat of the Shiny Squad order 1, 2, 3. And I don't think the Broad Street Bats are worried about their pitching. More likely they are worried about their hitting, as they have not seemed to found any type of groove today. Ooh, the bullpen for the... So they're going to need to pitch at least 3 guys. Sutter might as well pitch. Well, let me just double check. We can pull up their bullpen here. Oh. So we're really looking at these top 3. Top 4, but Smiley is out as he is fatigued. You could pitch him, but you wouldn't want, or tired. You wouldn't want to. I'm just looking at the rest tracker to make sure, because normally how you use the double... Yeah, so they're going to pitch Al Habrowski, since he's already fatigued, because he'll most likely pitch 2 innings regardless, and then Sutter could come in. You can pitch Sutter 1 and then see what happens, but Habrowski's going to have to pitch regardless, so might as well throw him in now. He's another big lefty, so he'll have a 6 command against lefties, but against righties and switch hitters, it'll be an 8 command. And their battery goes up to 13. 17 outs for him, and he will face a switch hitter, lefty, and righty to start things off. It is the bottom of the 7th. Guess it would be helpful if we went back to the actual game. So this will be an 8 versus 11. And a big pitch there from Habrowski. Banks swings and misses. 1 away. I'm going to bring up Sal Frelick, who is 0 for 2 today. This will be a 6 versus 11. Pitch from Al will be another 19. And Frelick swings and misses. So back-to-back Ks for Hrabowski. He will face Lofton, who is 0 for 2. 8 versus 11. So you need a 1, 2, or 3. And he does get the 1. Oh man, could you imagine? I'm not even going to speak it into existence. But could you imagine? A 12 will be a walk. I was going to say, could you imagine a game-tying home run? But he would have needed some major work. This would be an 8 versus 9. Not much you can do here with 2 outs. So you literally need a 1 to get the advantage. Almost got it, but advantage goes to Habrowski, and a 12 will be a line drive to end the inning. So he does allow a mistake pitch, but he takes care of the other batters pretty handedly. Oops, he was close as And that now means we need to go back to the bullpen. It is the top of the 8th. Still 2-1. Still a very close game. And the Broad Street Bats would like to probably throw a lefty, which they only had one. So do they throw Mesa? Do they throw Mark Lowe? They're going to throw Mesa since he'll get the bonus. So Jose Mesa is going to come into the game. He's a 4-command pitcher, a righty. 18 outs. He will have a 5-command against the lefties and switch hitters, which is why they're bringing him in now to face the switch hitter of Bonilla and Wilson, even though they'll get a bump. So this will be a 5 versus 12. Bonilla is 1 for 3. 5 versus 12. Advantage Mesa, and Bonilla swings and misses for out number 1. Brings up the right-hander Konerko. So it'll be a 4 versus 12. Konerko is 1 for 3 today. Shiny Squad would love to get some insurance here, but a 21 will at least be an advantage for Mesa, and they almost got the 20, Konerko did, but a 10 will be a ground ball over to the left side of the infield. Santo fires over to first and will easily retire Konerko. 2 away. Five versus 12 as Willie Wilson is 2 for 3 today. Mesa's pitch is a mistake. These mistake pitches are going to batters with not a lot of pop. And that is an 11, which is a single. The battery is still 14. They're going to try to steal anyway. Willie Wilson is going to try to steal. So it'll be a 14 versus 25. And a 23 will not be enough, so Wilson swipes second with 2 outs. Which brings up Bloomquist. Outfield does move in. 4 versus 12. And a tie goes to Bloomquist. A 10 is a walk, so a hitter's chart walk with 2 outs. Now brings up Dave Martinez, who's gotten pitcher chart hits in big spots before. Outfield stays in, infield normal. 5 versus 11. Big pitch from Mesa here. And that will be a 12 total, so he just squeaks by. And a 17 will be a deep fly ball to right field. Going back on it is Frelick, and he will make the grab for out number 3. So Mesa gets out of the jam, again, all with 2 outs, which is a shame because he would have wanted another pitcher to face more of the bottom of the order, but we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. It is still 2-1. Habrowski is going to come out as he will face 2 out of the 3 leadoff guys, or 1, 2, 3 hitters that are righties or switch hitters. Still, only 3 hits in the game for the Broad Street Bats. They've had 3 mistake pitches. 1 was an out, 2 were walks, and they've had 3 regular advantages. 1 was a walk, and 2 were outs. So on their own chart, they're 0 for 3 with 3 walks. It's not how you're going to win ball games. 8 versus 13. And Habrowski doesn't need much to get an advantage, and a 10 from Henderson is going to be a line drive caught by the third baseman. Henderson is now 0 for 4 today. 1 away. 6 versus 12. Utley is 0 for 2 with a walk. 6 versus 12. Oh, almost a 4, but a 15 will be advantage. Habrowski, and a 7 will be another ground ball. 2 away. 8 versus 13. And another advantage from Al. And another ground ball from the Broad Street Bats as they are set down 1-2-3 yet again. And the top of their order cannot even make hardly any contact. Head of the top of the ninth, it is still 2-1. And Mark Lowe is going to have to come out for the Broad Street Bats. I guess he doesn't have to come out. But facing two L+ guys, it makes sense that he would come out. Lowe is a 6th command pitcher. He has only 16 outs. 17 walk, 1-2 mistake pitch range. The battery will go down now for Broad Street Bats. It'll be a 12 instead of the normal 14 they've been rocking. And the top of the order will be up for the Shiny Squad, excuse me. And Davis is 3 for 4 today. 6 versus 11, and the pitch from Lowe will be a mistake pitch right off the bat. And Davis will get a single, another single off the power die. Very stark contrast, and he's going to take off for second right away. 12 versus 25. The throw from Bailey is not going to be in time, and so Davis is quickly on second with nobody out. Outfield's going to have to move in now, and they're going to have to work to not give up contact here. 6 versus 12. Coleman is 0 for 4. And advantage goes to Coleman, which a 9 is a walk. Outfield's going to stay in. 6 versus 14. Nobody out. Smith is 2 for 4. And advantage Smith. And a 14 will be a single. So 3 advantages given up by Lowe is not the... this would be a 12 versus 25. There is nobody out. They're going to... Not 12 versus 25. They'll send 12 versus 25 going home. That's in the middle, so we'll re-roll that. Safe. So a big insurance run there for the Shiny Squad as they are up 3-1. Outfield in, infield normal, 6 versus 12. And a 13 total gives the advantage. That also looked in the middle to Lowe. And good, because it kind of looked like it was a 19. So a pitcher's chart single, and there's still nobody out. They're going to hold everybody as Bonilla comes up to the plate. 6 versus 12. Bonilla is 1 for 4. Infield in. Outfield in. Advantage Lowe. And Bonilla, of course, why not, gets a nat 20. Scoring at least 1. And with no one out, they're going to hold Smith. So Bonilla tacks on another run. It's now 4-1 with Konerko up 6 versus 12. Infield will be regular now to try to get the double play. Outfield stays in. 6 versus 12. And another advantage. Konerko can really blow this open, but a 9 from Konerko is a walk. But that'll be an RBI. As Lowe is just struggling. And when he's finally gotten advantages, he's giving up runs or hits. And this will make their decision on who to throw the next inning very easy, as it is now 5-1. Still nobody out. Infield and outfield both in. 6 versus 12. Another advantage for Lowe, but can he get an out? 13 will be a fly ball for out number 1. Brings up the third baseman, Willie Bloomquist. Bloomquist is 1 for 3 today. And outfield in, infield normal. Advantage Lowe. And a 12 is a line drive caught by the third baseman for out number 2. Which brings up the 9-hole hitter, Dave Martinez. 6 versus 11. Infield normal, outfield in. Advantage low. Can Martinez come up with some more magic? He cannot. Strike 3. They bat all the way around, but they get massive insurance runs as it is now 5-1. Going into the bottom of the 9th. And the Shiny Squad are going to look for someone to close out this game. It is a 4-run lead, so it's not... They'll just pitch Sutter because he's fresh. So there's no reason not to, especially facing the 4, 5, 6-hole hitters. So Sutter is a big right-handed pitcher. He'll have 7 against lefties and switch hitters. 17 outs, no walks, 3 defense. He is going to look to shut down the Broad Street Bats as they will have a big 3-way tie in the league, which we'll go over in the next video of the standings along with the stats and everything. He will face, first off, Ron Santo, who's 0-2 with a walk today. He's had 2 mistake pitches, but couldn't do much with it. We have seen Sutter falter before, so it wouldn't be unheard of. But in theory, he should get out of this cleanly. Bottom of the 9th, Broad Street Bats are down to their final 3 outs, 6 versus 13. And Sutter will give up an advantage to Santo. And that'll be another walk for Santo as he leads things off with a walk. 7 versus 12 as Beltran comes up. He is 1 for 3 today. He has their only RBI, which was back in the first inning. 18 is advantage Sutter. 13 is a fly ball, and that'll be out number 1. Down to 2 outs. This will be 7 versus 12. Sutter's pitch is a mistake, so Banks, the chance to potentially bring this a little bit closer, and Banks will hit a deep fly ball to right field. That ball is going, and it is gone. So Sutter gives up a 2-run home run. How big are those insurance runs now? That would have been a walk-off home run if there was no more runs scored, but it is a 5-3 game. It's not quite over. But the bottom of the Broad Street Bats lineup is going to have to do some work. This will be 7 versus 12. Frelick is 0 for 3. Advantage Sutter. Frelick swings and hits a ground ball over the first baseman. Konerko just picks it up and steps on first for out number 2. Down to their last hope, Nick Lofton. It is 6 versus 10. Lofton's 0 for 2 today with a walk. Advantage Sutter, and a 16 will be a fly ball, and that will end the game as the Broad Street Bats fall to the Shiny Squad 5-3. Let's recap this game here in a second and give you some players of the game, what's coming up next. Well, it wasn't a lot of offense for most of the game for one side, as the Broad Street Bats really struggled in this one, tallying only 4 total hits in the game. As we look at some potential players of the game, we could give it to Jose Suarez, going 6 innings, and allowing only 3 hits, 1 run. Man, the shiny squad left 13 on base. They just really pounded. They really just pounded the Denny Neagle, but part of that is because of his bad pitcher's chart. Help if I could type. Okay, well, we could look at the scoreboard. Here's we have a final. Your winning pitcher is Jose Suarez. Your losing pitcher is Denny Neagle, and player of the game is Rajai Davis. This game started off pretty clean for both sides. Beltran did hit a 2-out pitcher chart single to get an RBI across the plate to take a 1-0 lead. It would be 1-0 until the shiny squad get a 2-out pitcher chart single from Dave Martinez, which then led to Davis getting the go-ahead run and would end up being the winning, well, almost winning run on the 4th. So they were up 2-1 for a lot of the game. Neither side could do much. Not a lot of advantages for the middle part of the innings. Actually, most of the game. The Broad Street Bats had 8 total advantages. 4 were pitchers or mistake pitches, and only 1 was for a hit. Wow! Out of their 8 advantages, they got 1 hit. That's crazy. I guess it makes sense if they only had 4. 17 hits for the shiny squad, as they will be a 2-3, and the Broad Street Bats will be 2-3. So the next video will kind of just be a recap of everything, all the stats, the standings, and looking ahead to the next set of slate of games. So thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.